The fight against climate change nowadays is a behavioral challenge. So we know the science, we have set our political goals, people are willing to act, but action is lacking on the ground. And behavioral science can help explain this gap between intentions and actions. We at the BAD Lab use behavioral science, which explains how people make decisions, both unconsciously and consciously. What are the context factors, what are their capabilities, their opportunities, and their motivation to act.
The Behavior and Design Lab, also referred to as the BAD Lab, is a new work stream within the Independent Evaluation Unit that was formally created at the beginning of the year 2020. It mainly applies insights from behavioral science into the IBU's evaluation work. The BAD Lab is composed of a small group of people who are undertaking research and developing guidance on how tools from behavioral science can fill gaps in existing approaches to climate investments.
A lot of seemingly big, bad, complex, and insurmountable problems at their heart demand that someone, somewhere is changing their behavior. Whether that means that someone is buying a more fuel-efficient car or an electric car instead of one that is gas-powered. Whether that means that when you go to wash your clothes at night, instead of washing them on hot, you wash them on cold.
We all, whether we're conscious of it or not, we all conform to group behaviour. So behavioural science teaches us that if we can get a critical mass of individuals to achieve change, whether that's changing the way they go to work, whether it's in terms of improving responses to hazards and climate disasters, then the types of changes that we can achieve together are much, much greater.
One of the factors has to do with what we call present bias. So people are very concerned about what is going on in their immediate future. They're concerned with taking their kids to school, paying their mortgages, going to their jobs, and it's often difficult for people to think about long-term planning, whether that be saving for their retirement or engaging in climate-friendly actions.
So in the work of the BAD Lab, we're using a concept called the last mile, and this is the final element of project uptake. So first comes the provision of infrastructure, the institutional strengthening, but the real question is, will the project change behavior, and will those behaviors change the resilience of individuals, or will it reduce emissions going forward? For example, many projects put up meteorological equipment and infrastructure, but in the end, it depends whether the farmers make use of that information in their farming decisions. That way, climate resilience depends on the final decisions, not just about the enabling environment.
We are trying to experiment with how a lot of the GCF investments can become effective in this last mile. So how is it that we can get GCF investments to be far more impactful for that last mile?
Leveraging expertise through partnerships and collaborations with leading actors in the field of behavioral science is critical to ensuring that the BAD Lab and IEU in general is delivering effective evaluations and contributing to the GCF's learning and building capacity.
So behavioral science is an analytical approach.
Colleagues from the Busara Centre for Behavioural Economics can support you in thinking through project assumptions and the adoption of uptake of intervention.
One thing we can all seek to do is just to try and be mindful of the way that we do act, to stay in the moment and to be conscious about the choices that we're making as consumers and also as citizens.